High Dragon is not a joke. We'd best be careful. Real careful.
On it. Let's get started. Finished. On it. Let's get started. This should be easy enough. It's either you or me, and it isn't going to be me. Be careful!
Okay, go with you now.
Let's make this quick. Let's get started. This should be easy enough. Desperation is an ugly perfume. Right. This should be easy enough.
Their pathetic little existence.
Let's get started. You should try while you can. Let's get started. How about you? This should be easy enough. Make us breath. As you wish. This should be easy enough. As you wish. On it. This should be easy enough. Right. As you wish. This should be easy enough. As you wish. Right.
We did? Yay! We won. Yay!
I bid you welcome, pilgrim. You have come to honor Andraste, and you shall, if you prove yourself worthy. Then you will not come to the ashes. It is not my place to decide your worthiness. The gauntlet does that. If you are found worthy, you will see the urn and be allowed to take a small pinch of the ashes for yourself. If not... Before you go, there is something I must ask. I see that the path that led you here was not easy. There is suffering in your past, your suffering, and the suffering of others. You betrayed Jawan to Irving. He was almost killed, and he lost the one thing that mattered. Lily. Jawan trusted you. Tell me, do you think you failed Jawan? Then you do not dwell on past mistakes, neither yours nor someone else's.
It's easy for others to judge what you've done in hindsight, but it doesn't make it any better.
What's past is past. Why bring it up and open old wounds?
It seems that reflection on past mistakes is a constant preoccupation of the religious mind.
You are too hard on yourself. No one's perfect.
You could not have known what would happen. You did what you thought was best.
And what of those that follow you? Alistair, Knight, and Warden. You wonder if things would have been different if you were with Duncan on the battlefield. You could have shielded him from the killing blow. You wonder, don't you, if you should have died and not him?
Yes. If Duncan had been saved and not me, everything would be better. If I just had the chance, maybe I...
And you? Why do you say the Maker speaks to you, when all know that the Maker has left? He spoke only to Andraste. Do you believe yourself her equal?
I said that.
In Orlais you were someone. In Lothering, you feared you would lose yourself, become a drab sister, and disappear. When your brothers and sisters of the cloister criticized you for what you professed, you were hurt, but you also reveled in it. It made you special. You enjoyed the attention, even if it was negative.
You're saying that I made it up for the attention? I did not. I know what I believe.
Shale, the stone giant. There is so little I can draw from you. I feel the distant echo of a soul, dormant for so long, now awake.
Good for you.
And with the awakening, the slow realization of all you have lost. Ah, Shale, your entire existence is a test of your will and courage. You have my respect. The way is open. Good luck, and may you find what you seek.
Echoes, whispers of things yet to come. Thought's strange sister dwells in night, is swept away by dawning light. Of what do I speak? A dream came upon me as my daughter slumbered beneath my heart. It told of her life, and of her betrayal and death. I am sorrow and regret. I am a mother weeping bitter tears for a daughter she could not save.
The smallest lark could carry it, while a strong man might not. Of what do I speak? Yes, I was Andraste's dearest friend in childhood, and always we would sing. She celebrated the beauty of life,
and all who heard her would be filled with joy. They say the Maker himself was moved by Andraste's song, and then she sang no more of simple things.
An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. The debt of blood must be paid in full. Of what do I speak? Yes, my husband Hysarion would have chosen a quick death for Andraste. I made him swear that she would die publicly with her war leaders, that all would know the Imperium's strength. I am justice. I am vengeance. Blood can only be repaid in blood.
I'd neither a guest nor a trespasser be. In this place I belong, that belongs also to me. Of what do I speak? It was my dream for the people to have a home of their own, where we would have no masters but ourselves. The enemy of my enemy is my friend, and thus we followed Andraste against the Imperium. But she was betrayed, and so were we.
A poison of the soul, passion's cruel counterpart. From love she grows, till love lies slain. Of what do I speak? Yes, jealousy drove me to betrayal. I was the greatest general of the Alamari, but beside her I was nothing. Hundreds fell before her on bended knee. They loved her, as did the Maker. I loved her too. But what man can compare with a god?
The bones of the world stretched towards the sky's embrace, veiled in white, like a bride greeting her groom. Of what do I speak? Yes, I carried Andraste's ashes out of Tevinter into the mountains to the east, where she could gaze ever into her Maker's sky. No more fitting a tomb than this could we find.
No man has seen it, but all men know it. Lighter than air, sharper than any sword. Comes from nothing, but will fell the strongest armies. Of what do I speak? Yes, hunger was the weapon used against the wicked men of the Tevinter Imperium. The Maker kindled the sun's flame, scorching the land. Their crops failed, and their armies could not march. Then he opened the heavens and bade the waters flow, and washed away their filth. I am Cather, disciple of Andraste and commander of her armies. I saw these things done, and knew the Makers smiled on us.
She wields the broken sword, and separates true kings from tyrants. Of what do I speak? Yes, I could not bear the sight of Andraste's suffering, and mercy bade me end her life. I am the penitent sinner, who shows compassion as he hopes compassion will be shown to him.
Had fun with the riddle game? I didn't think I'd fool you, but am I really a spirit, or is all this in your mind? Are you in the Fade, perhaps? Honestly, I don't know. I am part of the Gauntlet, I am Jowan, I am you. All these statements are true. To speak to you and to offer advice. You have come so far since I saw you last. The last vestiges of your shackled life in the Circle have all but fallen away. You are free of the past, and nothing will hold you back. Be strong, my friend. Do not falter. I have something for you. Use it well. It makes me happy, knowing you will be the mage that I never could.
I sense something drawing near. On it. This should be easy enough. Let's get started. As you wish.
It's a gasha!
As you wish.
Push them back!
On it.
Back!
On it. Let's get started. Right.
Ready! Defend yourself! Here comes trouble!
Ooh, look at that. I don't think it's solid enough to stand on, but it's a start. That's it. That's an actual bridge piece right there. If we can get all the bridge pieces to be solid, we can make it across. Maker's breath. Andraste only favored the clever, it seems.
You have been through the trials of the Gauntlet. You have walked the path of Andraste, and like her, you have been cleansed. You have proven yourself worthy, pilgrim. Approach the sacred ashes.
I never dreamed I would ever lay my eyes on the urn of sacred ashes. I have no words to express.
I didn't think anyone could succeed in finding Andraste's final resting place. But here she is.
What an odd thing to do with the honored dead. To store it in a pot. Bizarre.
I finished.
It's done.
Sudden movements.
Right. We might want to walk softly here. Oh! As you wish.
That's Mafarat, Andraste's husband, and the one who betrayed her to the Imperium.
Right. As you wish. Let's get started. On it. Right.
More squishy things ahead.
This should be easy enough. Let's get started. Just like you wanted. Watch for the demons. You should run while you can. This should be easy enough. On it. Right. As you wish. This should be easy enough. Let's get started. This should be easy enough.
Is it time to squish something else?
As you wish. Right. This should be easy enough. This should be easy enough.
Welcome back. You were gone for quite some time. Well, did you find it? Is that? Oh, there's some dust on... No, that's not dust. Oh, Maker, I'm not worthy to look upon. What was it like, coming to the urn, I mean? You are a very fortunate person. And so am I. Perhaps my research will not seem so much like blasphemy to the Chantry now. We must organize an expedition. There is so much history here, it must be studied. And pilgrims should be allowed to come to the urn.
Ha! Let's hope there's a lot of Andraste to go around.
I must return home. I have much to do. If you ever find yourself in Denerim, please visit me. I am not a rich man, but I have a small collection of interesting artifacts, and I do owe you a reward for coming to my rescue. I hope to see you soon, my friend.
You wish to talk? Ah, good. I have a question for you. You and Alistair are quite close, are you not? I am curious as to the nature of your relationship. Jealous? Not I, no. But one does not need to be jealous to be leery of rushing headlong into complicated situations. You and I have had our fun, but if this thing between you and Alistair is leading somewhere, I'll happily step aside. Complication avoided. Everyone's the happier, yes? And I have no burning need to do so, but this is not so simple a matter. I make no claims upon you, nor would I dream of such. You are free to pursue your fancies as you desire, and I would have it no other way. I suspect Alistair, however, would not feel the same way. If there is to be something between you and I, to string him along would only hurt him deeply. Surely you know this is true. Then only one path lies before us, no? And glad I am to hear it. You will need to be the one that tells Alistair, however. Now then, shall we move on to more pleasant topics? How about poetry, hmm? Well, trust me then. You won't be hearing it now. It was recited to me, as I recall, by a rather wealthy target of mine. Let's see. The symphony I see in thee, it whispers songs to me. Songs of hot breath upon my neck. Songs of soft sighs by my head. Songs of nails upon my back. Songs of thee come to my bed. Oh, I know. I couldn't believe that she thought this would actually convince me to spare her. I had sex with her anyway, but that goes without saying. She still had to die. The poem was amusing at the time, however, and thus I've always remembered it. Now that is a thought, isn't it? Would it work? I'll have to keep that in mind. Personally, my preferred methods of seduction are a bit more tactile. Here I thought you might be cheered up by some naughty poetry. You simply look so unhappy. Such an unflattering expression for such a lovely face. Who wouldn't? You're the kind of woman that stokes the lust in men and other women alike. Surely you know this and are playing with me. Me, I tend to make the best of whatever situation I find myself in, stealing what moments I can. It's served me well most days. You might learn to do the same. Or you could ignore my advice, considering where my brilliance has gotten me. Enough poetry, I think. The time has come for traveling and the murdering of villains and whatever else passes for adventuring these days.
You've seen and touched Andraste's ashes. They are the holiest thing on this earth, the remains of the Maker's chosen. I do not know if I am worthy to look upon her. Yes, of course, but it still is something to be in awe of. I know that look. You have something on your mind, don't you? Of course. Yes, a little better. Time heals all wounds, so they say. Scars remain, but they are just colors in the painting that is my life, no? Yes, that is what I'm saying. I wish things had happened differently, but knowing her and knowing me, I don't think it could have. We had good times, though, and I look back on those fondly. Whatever happened after will never change the truth of the past. Yes, once, a long time ago. She was a woman and there was so much she knew and was willing to share with me. I would have done anything for her once. She used to be different. Happier, I think. She loved music and had a weakness for sugary cakes. Maybe she was always lying about who she was. Or maybe she changed over the years. You are how she used to be years ago, a joy to be around, a constant companion and a listening ear in times of need. My dearest one, I think that day has already come and gone. I have never regretted leaving Orly. I don't regret any of the pain, the anger, the loneliness, because it brought me to you, and I love you. It's so wonderful to say that to someone again. But people are starting to look at me strangely. We will speak of this again, I promise.
Do you realize that you've been smiling for hours now? Since the last time you and that girl shot glances at each other, in fact. I cannot imagine what you begin to see in her. I hope at least the dalliance is worthwhile. I see. Glad to hear it then. 'Tis a bit sickening to watch you two, but I imagine it at least takes your mind from our situation. Have it your way.
I enjoy the nights at camp. The night always seems more peaceful to me, safer. I feel the night grants us a reprieve from the troubles of the day. Silly, isn't it? The darkspawn never sleep, and they lurk in the shadows. I enjoy those nights when we stand guard together, talking to pass the time in those small hours. Well, I talk and you listen mostly. Sometimes I succumb and fall asleep and wake to find you still watchful, and I know you're watching out for me. What I'm trying to say is that I trust you. I'm comfortable around you. I know you'll be there when I need you. You are our leader and my friend. Sometimes I think that maybe we could be more than that. Maker, look at me stumbling over my words like an ill-educated peasant girl. Some bard I am. Really? No one told me. You felt the same way and didn't do me the courtesy of informing me? You made me say all those things. Why couldn't you have said them first? Oh, how very awkward. Well, yes, but don't question me. I am a woman and I reserve the right to be inconsistent. Why am I being such a baby about this? I must be a sight spilling my guts. Well, that settles it then. Indeed.
Yes.
Indeed.
You return. Might you have news? You have? Wonderful. Let us go at once to Eamon's side and see if the urn's healing powers live up to their reputation.
Where am I?
Be calm, brother. You have been deathly ill for a very long time. Do you remember nothing?
Tegan? What are you doing here? Where is Isolde?
I am here, my husband.
And Connor? Where is my boy? Where is our son?
He lives. though many others are dead. There is much to tell you, husband.
Dead? Then it was not a dream.
Much has happened since you fell ill, brother. Some of it will not be easy for you to hear.
Then tell me. I wish to hear all of it. This is most troubling. There is much to be done, that is true. But I should first be thankful to those who have done so much. Grey Warden, you have not only saved my life, but kept my family safe as well. I am in your debt. Will you permit me to offer you a reward for your service? I understand, but regardless of your motivations, I feel you are worthy of a reward. I would like to honor your efforts, nothing more. Then allow me to declare you and those traveling with you champions of Redcliffe. You will always be a welcome guest within these halls. And for you, Warden, a shield of the same make as those that have been given to our finest knights.
We should speak of Loghain, brother. There is no telling what he will do once he learns of your recovery.
Loghain instigates a civil war even though the Darkspawn are on our very doorstep. Long I have known him. He is a sensible man, one who never desired power.
I was there when he announced he was taking control of the throne, Eamon. He is mad with ambition, I tell you.
Mad indeed. Mad enough to kill Kaelin, to attempt to kill myself and destroy my lands. Whatever happened to him, Loghain must be stopped. What's more, we can scarce afford to fight this war to its bitter end. We have no time to wage a campaign against him. Someone must surrender if Ferelden is to have any chance at fighting the Darkspawn. I will spread word of Loghain's treachery, both here and against the king. But it will be but a claim made without proof. Those claims will give Loghain's allies pause, but we must combine it with a challenge Loghain cannot ignore. We need someone with a stronger claim to the throne than Loghain's daughter, the Queen.
Are you referring to Alistair, brother? Are you certain?
I would not propose such a thing if we had an alternative, but the unthinkable has occurred. Tegan and I have a claim through marriage, but we would seem opportunists no better than Loghain. Alistair's claim is by blood.
And what about me? Does anyone care what I want?
You have a responsibility, Alistair. Without you, Loghain wins. I would have to support him for the sake of Ferelden. Is that what you want?
But I... No, my lord.
I see only one way to proceed. I will call for a landsmeet, a gathering of all of Ferelden's nobility in the city of Denerim. There, Ferelden can decide who shall rule, one way or another. Then the business of fighting our true foe can begin. What say you to that, my friend? I do not wish to proceed without your blessing. Very well. I will send out the word. But before we proceed, I believe there is the matter of the mage, my son's tutor. He still lives, I understand.
He does. He is in the dungeon, brother.
Have him brought here, Tegan. I wish to see him. Jowan, what you have done is not in question. You tried to assassinate me and set into motion a series of events that nearly destroyed everything I cherish. What have you to say in your own defense?
Nothing, my lord. Other than to say I am sorry. I expect no mercy for what I've done.
I see. Grey Warden, have you anything to say on Jowan's behalf? Well said. You show more loyalty, perhaps, than he would in your shoes. And what would you have me do? As the injured party, my ability to see the merciful path is strained. True enough, and wisely said. Jowan, I hereby turn you over to the Tower of the Circle of Magi. May the Maker have mercy on your soul.
Thank you, my lord. And goodbye, my friend.
Now, back to the matter of the Landsmeet. It will take some time to recall my forces and organize our allies. I would prefer to wait until that is done before calling the Landsmeet. In the meantime, I suggest you pursue the remainder of the Grey Warden treaties. We will need all the allies we can get if we are to defeat the Darkspawn Horde.
Yes, that's the way. Now guard yourself.
You're awake. Did you feel it too? It was like the archdemons saw us. Saw us! What does that mean? I think... Wait. Did you hear that?
Cursed creatures! Let's get started. On it. As you wish. Right. This should be easy enough. Let's get started. Right. As you wish. Right.
This won't feel good.
I guess it's like Duncan once said. We can sense them, and they can sense us. We'd best be more careful from now on. This camp isn't safe any longer.
What will they send next? Darkspawn tax collectors?
Fortification should be built around the camp.
Yeah, can't get a bloody night's rest.
How unnerving.
It will be more difficult to sleep here now.
What, no trap? No ambush? Some assassins.
Indeed.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, blast it.
Uh-huh.
And look who we have here. Come to apologize for leaving me bereft of my lord husband and then vanishing without a trace.
You know it was just business, Isabella. Business that turned out well for you, I see. You inherited the ship, I take it.
I suppose I never did like the greasy bastard, and the siren treats me far better than she ever did him.
Indeed. This is Isabella, Queen of the Eastern Seas and the sharpest blade in Lomerin. And Isabella, my dear, you will no doubt be amused to discover that I am traveling with a Grey Warden.
A Grey Warden? Charmed. I assume you saw that little drama, and none of these poor brutes has ever proven a match for me. They are too clumsy and predictable. I fight with quickness and wit, rather than with brute force and strength. I call myself a duelist because I honed my skills in duels with warriors I encountered over the years. An unusual request, coming from a fearsome slayer of Darkspawn. I am flattered that you wish to learn from me, sweet thing. But I have watched you, and you seem to lack a particular grace that is required. You are accustomed to doing battle a certain way, yes? I can teach you some basics. Perhaps you can pass it on to someone who might be interested in what I have to offer. I do, however, wish to get to know my potential student better, so we shall call for a drink, and you will honor me with a game. Do you have something else in mind? Oh, and now you've piqued my interest. It would surely be rude of me to decline such a delicious offer.
You're going with her? I thought you were joking. I can't let you do this. Not without me. Keeping an eye on the both of you.
Who am I to deny such a pretty little thing as yourself, my dear? You are welcome to join us.
Too much to handle. Stone.
And what about you, Zev? Shall we? For old time's sake?
Oh, Isabella, you and your ridiculous appetites. Perhaps we should leave it up to our friend here.
Oh my, what have I got myself into?
Ah, that impish smile of yours, Liliana, you little minx. It just gives you away.
Come, my ship is down by the docks, and I am sure you will find my cabins quite comfortable.
Let us never speak of this again.
Yes, I agree.
I don't mind never speaking of it again, as long as we could do it again.
That's a thought.
Am I getting old, or has Zevran become even more depraved over the years?
I've been about Grey Wardens. Perhaps the taint has rubbed off on me some, huh?
Now, wasn't there something you wanted from me? A lesson, perhaps? Come, we will need some space for this.
Magic exists to serve man and never to rule over him.
Strange that matters can be so tumultuous and yet the day still be so bright. Oh, my pardon, just thinking aloud. Are you here for the Chanter's Reliquary of this chantry? Pride again. It is hard to live up to the example of Andraste. The archivist tends the books, and I tend the sacred relics. I also search for more to add to our collection, which is more difficult than it sounds. Really? Oh, pardon my incredulity. I would like to examine them in any event. Let me see. The scrolls are old, no question, and the script. It's written in cipher. Early believers used them to keep their writings safe from the Tevinter Magus. These could be authentic. Please, let me examine it. I need parchment, quill, and ink. What was the trick to the cipher again? I examined your scrolls. I know a few of the early Chantry ciphers, but I'm not fully familiar with this one. The bits I have made out. This may be an account of Maferath's final days, and perhaps more. I know, it's remarkable. The same Maferath who betrayed our prophet and saw her burn alive in Minrath Rus. If we could get a real translation, well, it could be the find of our lifetime. When I finish decoding it, absolutely, but it will not be easy. It could take months. The ciphers were designed to be difficult for the Magisters to decrypt. Who knows what secrets we can uncover, what truths we can find. Here is all of the allowance I have for acquisitions. Take it and go. 1,000 blessings.
They shall be named Maleficar, accursed ones. They shall find no rest in this world or beyond.
I was getting to that part. Magic exists to serve man and never to rule over him. Foul and corrupt are they who have taken...
You call? Again? I'm game. I see. I am tempted to ask why, but I suspect I already know the answer. I swore to remain at your side, so here I shall remain. Yet you would have us be strangers, so be it.
As you wish. It should be easy enough. Right. As you wish. Let's get started. As you wish. I never liked this part.
I guess it's like Duncan once said. We can sense them, and they can sense us. We'd best be more careful from now on. This camp isn't safe any longer.
What will they send next? Darkspawn tax collectors?
Fortification should be built around the camp.
Indeed.
Yes.
Yes.
How unnerving.
Magic exists to serve man and never to rule over.
Strange that matters can be so tumultuous and yet the day still be so bright. Oh, my pardon. Just thinking aloud. Are you here for the Chanter's Board? I am Sister Justine, curator of the reliquary of this chantry. tried again. It is hard to live up to the example of Andraste. The archivist tends the books, and I tend the sacred relics. I also search for more to add to our collection, which is more difficult than it sounds. Really? Oh, pardon my incredulity. I would like to examine them in any event. Let me see. The scrolls are old, no question, and the script. It's written in cipher. Early believers used them to keep their writings safe from the Tevinter Magus. These could be authentic. Please, let me examine it. I need parchment, quill, and ink. What was the trick to the cipher again? I examined your scrolls. I know a few of the early Chantry ciphers, but I'm not fully familiar with this one. The bits I have made out. This may be an account of Maferath's final days, and perhaps more. I know, it's remarkable. The same Maferath who betrayed our prophet and saw her burn alive in Minrath Rus. If we could get a real translation, well, it could be the find of our lifetime. It could take months. The ciphers were designed to be difficult for the Magisters to decrypt. Who knows what secrets we can uncover, what truths we can find. Here is all of the allowance I have for acquisitions. Take it and go. 1,000 blessings.
They shall be named Maleficar, accursed ones. They shall find no rest in this world or beyond.
I was getting to that part.
Did you bring more scales? I want to try again. I've learned so much.
Wade, please leave the customer alone. How can I help you? You must be kidding. We're done. No...
Eren, more scales. I can make another set.
Dear Andraste, no.
I've been thinking every night about what I'd do different. It's all in my head. Dear Heren, don't worry. I can make it faster this time.
You can?
You worry too much. Just give me the scales, friend, and I'll have my finest work for you.
I'll just close the shop until he's done. Thank you so much, rotten bastard.
So what is it exactly the Sisters of the Chantry do for amusement?
Do they not have sisters in Antiva, Severin?
Naturally. Yet we are hesitant to speak to the sisters back home. They are at Tia Negrano. How do you say it? Pure. Not to be spoiled.
And you would spoil them?
You really have no idea, do you?
I wasn't born in the Chantry, Severin.
I heard there was quite a scuffle in the alleyways. Well done, Warden. You'd be wrong. Our contract had two important jobs. One was to kill the boy's kidnapper, Captain Chase. The other was his rescue. You took care of Chase. And some friends have already returned the boy safely to his father. I've nothing more for you. I hope you found the contents of the chest satisfying. My superiors want me to convey their thanks. The Crows aren't accepting any new contracts on you. And when this blight ends, we'd love you to visit Antiva to discuss other opportunities. I did what I had to do, but there's no more need for word games. The Civil War brought many old grudges to a boil. You'll be pleased to know that those contracts helped your own cause, some more directly than others. After all, it is not in the Crow's best interest that the Archdemon wins. Just remember our offer. We could really use someone with your talents. It's time for me to take a vacation. Caesar has a special stock of wares that might interest you. It was a pleasure working with you, Warden. Luck be to you.
You're back. You need something? Oh, yes, yes. Look over here.
What can I get you, stranger? What can I get you, stranger?
We're closed. Oh, it's you.
The Drake scale armor is done. And it's, well, decent. Few things I'm rather proud of. And it didn't take as long as I feared. Odd.
You'd better be very proud, Wade. We can't afford any more flights of fancy.
I feel good, actually. I wouldn't mind working on Lord such-and-such's armor today.
We'll see how long this lasts. Here's your armor. Now, please leave.
Hope you enjoy your armor.
Welcome. Oh, it's you. Please leave. And if you have any more scales, you can shove them. You just don't know when to quit.
Why so glum, Heron? Today is a glorious day. Today, I make dragon scale armor.
I feel just giddy.
Patience, patience. Now, I've dreamed of what I would do every night. It's in my head in perfect clarity. It will be the work of hours.
What? You're serious?
Absolutely. The only question is what type of armor. Dragon scale is marvelous, flexible and tough. I could make a lighter set of dragon skin armor, heavy dragon scale armor, or dragon bone plate. What interests you? Excellent, excellent. Now don't move. There you go. My life's work, that is.
You did it so fast.
Of course, Erin. Have some faith. I am a master armorer, you know.
Miracles never cease. But you're not welcome here anymore.
I need a sabbatical. Maybe someplace warm.
I hate my life.
As there is but one world, one life, one death, there is...
And look who we have here. Come to apologise for leaving me bereft of my lord husband and then vanishing without a trace.
You know it was just business, Isabella. Business that turned out well for you, I see. You inherited the ship, I take it.
I suppose I never did like the greasy bastard, and the siren treats me far better than she ever did him.
Indeed, this is Isabella, Queen of the Eastern Seas and the sharpest blade in Lomerin. And Isabella, my dear, you will no doubt be amused to discover that I am traveling with a Grey Warden.
A Grey Warden? Charmed. I assume you saw that little drama, and none of these poor brutes has ever proven a match for me. They are too clumsy and predictable. I fight with quickness and wit, rather than with brute force and strength. I call myself a duelist because I honed my skills in duels with warriors I encountered over the years. An unusual request, coming from a fearsome slayer of Darkspawn. I am flattered that you wish to learn from me, sweet thing. But I have watched you, and you seem to lack a particular grace that is required. You are accustomed to doing battle a certain way, yes? I can teach you some basics. Perhaps you can pass it on to someone who might be interested in what I have to offer. I do, however, wish to get to know my potential student better, so we shall call for a drink, and you will honor me with a game. Do you have something else in mind? Oh, and now you've piqued my interest. It would surely be rude of me to decline such a delicious offer.
You're going with her? I thought you were joking. I can't let you do this. Not without me. Keeping an eye on the both of you.
Who am I to deny such a pretty little thing as yourself, my dear? You are welcome to join us. And what about you, Zev? Shall we? For old time's sake?
Oh, Isabella, you and your ridiculous appetites. Perhaps we should leave it up to our friend here.
Oh my, what have I got myself into?
Ah, that impish smile of yours, Liliana, you little minx. It just gives you away.
Come, my ship is down by the docks, and I am sure you will find my cabins quite comfortable.
Let us never speak of this again.
Yes, I agree.
I don't mind never speaking of it again, as long as we do it again.
That's a thought.
Am I getting old, or has Zevran become even more depraved over the years?
I've been about Grey Wardens. Perhaps the taint has rubbed off on me some, huh?
Now, wasn't there something you wanted from me? A lesson, perhaps? Come, We will need some space for this.
The deep dark before dawn's first light seems eternal. The deep dark before dawn's first light seems eternal. But know that
The captain sends his regards.
the deep dark before dawn's first light seems eternal. But know that the sun always rises.
Blood and damnation. Indeed.
Yes.
Phew, some fight. Reminds me why I left Orzammar in the first place. Hey, anything for Redcliffe, right? Whatever. First thing I'm gonna do is get some sleep. For about a week. Go celebrate or whatever it is you're gonna do. You won, right? You're a hero. Or something. Go celebrate or whatever you have to do. Now, why would you be interested in that?
It's mine.
You know, Farron didn't mention the giant he took it from was alive. Excellent idea. It's in my strongbox. Here's the key. Now, why don't you leave me alone?
Done and done.
That smell. This is uneven leather, isn't it? I would know that anywhere. I don't know how you found it, but thank you. Now, if only you could find me a prostitute or two, a bowl of fish chowder, and a corrupt politician, I'd really feel like I was home. And they fit as well. Marvelous! You have excellent taste.
I'm to keep this, am I? Fine.
That looks fine indeed.
Oh, marvelous.
Strange. I had almost forgotten it. Completion. Are you sure you are a Grey Warden? I think you must be an Ashkari to find a single lost blade in a country at war. I would thank you for this, if I knew how. And I could deliver a much more satisfying answer to the Arishok's question if the Blight were ended, don't you agree? Then lead the way.
A fine gift. You have my thanks.
Oh, how dear of you. Thank you so much. I need to know what's going on between you and Zevran. You said what happened between you two was nothing, but it's gone further, hasn't it? I've seen the knowing glances he shoots at you. What's all that about? I don't know if I can trust you, if I can trust the things you've said to me. What am I to you? And Zevran? What's he to you? You're very special to me. But if you don't feel the same, please tell me now. I am sorry I had to force this on you. I couldn't stand by any longer wondering if I meant anything to you. And I believe you when you say that. We should talk later. It has been some time since I left Lothering. When I stepped out of the cloister, I had no idea where my path would lead. I walked where the Maker led me, and he has rewarded me for my faith. I found you. You don't know how it makes me feel to hear you say that. But now it's getting late. I think I might turn in early. I can't help thinking about how soft and warm my bedroll is. You're welcome to join me, of course. The Maker says we must share our blessings. Good. Now come with me before I lose my patience. Hello. I've been up for some time, but yes, I slept very well. I've just been watching you sleep. Did you know your eyelids flutter when you dream? And you have such pretty eyelashes. So I hear. I'm so happy, blissful. I haven't slept so well since I was forced to flee from Orlais. Knowing you will be the first thing I see when I wake gives me no small amount of comfort. I feel safe in your arms. Safe, loved, and accepted. This is where I belong. Thank you. I suppose I should get up. We have a long day ahead of us. Come on! Darkspawn await with bated breath for you to put them out of their misery. What are you... Oh, I see. I suppose the Darkspawn will just have to wait a bit longer.
Such a force has not been seen since the collapse of the
If there's anything I can do for you, please tell me. I'm sure you'll be pleased with the goods my boy and I have collected. And...
Well, aren't you sweet and attentive? I thought you'd never ask.
What's on your mind? I try not to dwell too much on the mistakes of my past. There are many. I would go quite mad if I did that. But I do have one regret. The greatest misstep of my life, made even more grave because it had dire consequences for someone else. Years ago, I was assigned as mentor to a lad, Anarin. He was my first apprentice. Anarin was an elf, raised in one of the elven alienages, and he was very mistrustful of humans, especially humans in authority. What Anaren needed was time. Time to get used to his new home. Time to emerge from his shell so we could build a rapport. I gave him no such time. I was young and arrogant. He is a mage, I thought. He needs to grow up and act like one. I expected too much from him too quickly. I gave no consideration to his origin or his feelings, and he retreated further from me. All I could think of was how stubborn he was, how he was throwing away all his talent and his potential just to be difficult. Oh, I dread to think. I was a harsh taskmistress. He might have thought I was a demon in disguise. You cannot plant crops in the cold, wintry ground. You cannot teach a student who is closed off and unresponsive. Patience is what is needed, and I learned that too late to help him. Anaren ran away from the circle one night. I had berated him over some trivial, ridiculous matter that I no longer remember. I drove him away because of something utterly unimportant. He was a child, 14 at the time of his leaving. They had his phylactery, and they hunted him down. They called him Maleficar, a mage who practices forbidden magic, deserving of death. He was a child, misunderstood and lost. I begged the Templars to tell me if he suffered, if they gave him a quick death. I got no answers from them. I was his mentor, and they wouldn't even tell me what became of him. I should have known better. I had the best mentors. They were kind, compassionate. Why didn't I learn from them? I failed Anaren. All I had to do was listen to him. He would try to talk to me, and I would tell him to concentrate on his spells. He talked about the alienage sometimes, and the Dalish. He always talked about looking for the Dalish elves. The Templars are well-trained and thorough. That he still lives, it would be a vain hope. The apprentices that came after Anaren benefited greatly from the lessons I learned from him. In a sense, he was my teacher, and I his student. And there it is, my story, my one greatest regret.